First of the previews. First of the previews. Reason is it's the first game tomorrow, so I figured we'll do them in order as the games are being played, so they're up for the longest amount of time before the games start. So this is the playoff preview between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets. I thought I'd start off with by going through some of their history, and then we can just break down this series. But I want to quickly pay homage to the stats and the playoff leaders for these franchises. So leading in games for Columbus, we'll start off with Columbus. 32 games is Cam Atkinson, Boone Jenner, and David Savard. So they're all the same. Points and goals leader in the playoffs is Cam Atkinson with 23 points and 9 goals in 32 games. So pretty good effort. Pretty good effort. I mean, yeah, you might want a bit closer to a point a game for your franchise leader, but they're a baby franchise when it comes to playoffs. So yeah. And Bobrovsky is the leader in wins with 11. So yeah, Korpisalo's got a little way to go. They're gonna have to win a few series if he's gonna sort of get near that one. But yeah, at least they're putting a bit of a dent in it and making some history for themselves and padding the stats of some of these franchise players that a lot of these fans are going to remember for a long time as the real ones that sort of started it off when it came to playoff runs. Furthest they gone was last year, getting to the second round. They did that in spectacular fashion. They were complete underdogs and they swept the Tampa Bay Lightning. But wait a minute, they're playing the Tampa Bay Lightning again. Drama. Don't know why I did that. On the Lightning side of things, goalie wins is being held by Ben Bishop and Habib Bullen. They're both tied with 21, so that's kind of interesting. And Vasilevsky's getting there. He's getting there slowly. Hedman has the most games with 87. Goals and points are all by Martin St. Louis. 33 goals, 68 points, 3 overtime goals too. So that's pretty crazy. However, Kucherov is just behind, nipping at those heels. If they get past this round, he might actually start being the franchise leader in some of these stats. Which I was surprised. I thought Stamkos would have been somewhere in that conversation, but no. And then you kind of remember that he does go, there has been the story of he's gone missing or he's been injured in some playoff series. So yeah, for someone that's a real franchise player, you kind of forget he's in the league sometimes, don't you? No, not that you forget that he's in the league, but you just, when you think franchise player and elite players, Stamkos isn't the name that just comes out, but he's a very good player. So since he signed that contract and that whole free agents talk kind of went away, he's just done his thing. Tampa Bay's playoff record is 75 wins, 65 losses, and Columbus's is 14 wins and 22 losses. And obviously the furthest the Tampa Bay went was the Stanley Cup in 2004 when they won the whole thing. And then we had a lockout and we just didn't play for a bit, but that's fine. So yeah, all right, that's enough with the history. I just thought that'd be a fun way to break up these videos, is just going through their franchise leaders in a few categories, and then let's break down the series. So a lot of people are saying Columbus doesn't have... the internet's split with this. It's a whole bunch of people like Vegas, I guess, Vegas odds and those things saying, Columbus doesn't stand a chance. And then there's a bunch of people saying, well, maybe it's a bit more of a 50-50 series than we think. And let's run through why. Tampa Bay did not have a strong games in the round robin. But... I mean, they're playing top-tier play. They're playing the best in the East, right? So, in games that don't matter as much. So, their intensity wasn't really there. We don't know where Stamkos is at. There's not going to be an update till he's ready to play, so that's a bit of a concern. But, I mean, this team has a lot of weapons to be able to do things. But, obviously... there was that sweep last year, but both teams, there's a few omissions, I guess, and than it was from last season, especially on the Blue Jacket side of things. Duchesne isn't there. Panarin's not there. Zingel's not there. Bobrovsky's not there. Not that you want him after this season. But, I mean, goaltender-wise, I think they're fine. They're pretty much on par with what they were doing last season. So the question really is in this series is, can the Tampa Bay Lightning overcome the fact that the center ice is going to be taken away from them again? Which is an interesting thing because it's the same team as last time. So, yeah, I think they will. I think they will. Like I think they would have broken down what went wrong last series and figure out a way to. And I think they changed the way they played this season. They weren't nearly as dominant in the regular season. I mean, they were a very, very good team, but they weren't nearly as dominant this season in the regular season. I think it's because they changed a little bit in their style to make up for what happened last year in the playoffs. There's a lot of pressure with this team. Blue Jackets again have found money. Again, like no one expected them to do anything this year. I had them very low. I know some people had them like just squeaking in the playoffs. I had them very low. They had two very unproven goalies. I was like, where are their goals coming from? Dubinsky was obviously not coming back. They had a lot of question marks, and a lot of their younger players still hadn't taken that next step up. Dubois is a really good name there to represent that point. So they just hadn't really taken that next step, and I was wrong. They played very well. It's a very Tortorella team, and he can, with teams like this, move them to the next level. You look at the Rangers when they were at the peak of their powers. If you look at that lineup, it's actually not the sexiest thing in the world to be going to a cup final. But it had a lot of, that Tortorella fingerprint, those players that play hard. Girardi's a prime example of that. And this team, this Blue Jacket team has a bit more skill than that, especially on the blue line. Like Seth Jones, Ryan McDonough, like it's those sort of parallels. But I think on the blue line they're a little bit more mobile even. So I have a feeling that this series isn't going to be a whitewash to Tampa Bay Lightning. I think the Blue Jackets are going to make them work for it, and they're probably going to steal a game or two here. And it's going to be whether the Lightning can figure this out, and when the center ice is taken away, can they score? That's going to be the biggest thing here. If they can figure it out, if they can win game 1 or game 2, they'll win the series very easily. But it's if they lose that first game and get sucked into playing the Blue Jackets game, as we saw with the Leafs. This team matches up very well with a skilled team because they take away the center of their ice, and that team doesn't know what to do from that point on. So that's kind of where I'm at. Obviously, there's not huge lineup changes on Tampa Bay Lightning, so this is mostly just them going at it again. Losing Stammer does hurt if he's not going to be ready to go. And, I feel the players have regressed this year on Tampa's side when it comes to point numbers, so they're going to need everyone to really step up. A lot of this battle might be Victor Hedman versus Seth Jones. Who is going to be better? I mean, Hedman's probably the best defender in the league right now. Seth Jones definitely knocking on the door to be in the top 3, top 5. So, I think that will be something like which one of them can have the biggest impact on their team. And which forwards can get it done. But this team needs to be able to score more. They weren't able to do that very much in that last series when they got swept. I'm sorry, there's a bunch of kookaburras going through. It's like sunset. So usually when that happens, the cockatoos just go nuts. So it's probably the camera's picking that up, but that's fine. That's Australia. There's just wildlife everywhere. I live in a block apartments and there is just wildlife everywhere. Like this is just the most Australian thing ever. I think the biggest indicator for the Lightning is whether their third line and fourth line can get at it. I kind of like the way that it's built this year. Because, if this team can't score going down the center ice, we saw in the last series that this goaltending for Columbus outside of 3 minutes in one of the games can hold off that off chance, that really high scoring chance. If it doesn't happen often, they can stop it. Tavares had a fair few throughout the whole series and he was robbed every time because the goalie was somewhat fresh. Even though they got outshot in a lot of games, a lot of the shots came from nowhere. So, they definitely need to get bodies out in front. They need to get tips in on goal. They can't expect that this series is just going to go their way. If they play it right and they play with a good amount of hustle, and they get bodies in front. Still play that skill game. It's your bread and butter. You don't want to get sucked into the Blue Jackets game. You just need to mix it up a bit and get to the net. I think Lightning are going to win this in. I think 6. I think 6 the sixth game. 4-2 sounds right to me, doesn't it? 6 makes it seem like a close series, but then when you go 4 games to 2, you're kind of like, oh, all right, So that's my prediction. I can see the Blue Jackets winning this, but if they can sucker them in and really take away that center ice again and that neutral zone and just not allow those big stretch passes and then push on the counterattack like they did last time, which is what happened against the Leafs, then they can really win this. And that's where you need to have I think the reason why they beat these teams is that the defense pushes up a little bit too much against the Blue Jackets, and that is an issue. Because then, if there is the turnover, this team is very good at jumping on it very quickly. I think especially in the offensive zone, when the other team has the puck, the Blue Jackets defending are actively attacking the defenders, and that was the biggest thing throughout the Toronto and Blue Jackets series, was that if the Blue Jackets had it in their offensive zone and it went to their defense, they almost had an open lane to shoot. Like, they had a fair bit of time to sort of take a stride in and take a shot. And that led to a couple of goals where the Toronto Maple Leafs had their time and space taken away, and that's why only 3 points were scored that's why all the defenders for Toronto only scored 3 points throughout the 5 games, was just they never had time and space, and they were never able to put the big long light pass through the ice either. So with that pressure led to turnovers, and those turnovers ended up in 2-1s that ended up in the back of the net far too often. So I would say don't get too cute on the blue line for the Lightning. If they can do that right, they don't get those turnovers, then they should be able to win this series. But if you play with fire, this team will score on you very quickly, and they get those real. This team really has an ability in that series and the series just gone to score goals at very timely moments and then get a big save. And that was the biggest difference against the Leafs, is that, you'd see that second goal in that last game. Shortly after that, Korpisalo made a massive save after a pretty weak goal. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that is the whole video. So that's the preview. 3 more to do tonight. So yeah, I have a busy evening in front of me. But if you did like this, hit the like button. Otherwise, hit subscribe if you made it all the way through. Because, well, you made it all the way through, and it really does help us out. We're up to 116 now, which is just crazy seeing that. Every video, I swear, like I'm just adding another number on, and I'm so thankful for it. I have 200 sub videos coming out just to say thank you for everyone. I know it's a very small, in the YouTube space, 100 subs is nothing, but for me, I didn't think it was going to happen. To be honest, it was just one of those things. I kind of got up to 60 really quickly and then just never went past it, and then I started doing this a bit differently, and took a bit of a gamble. And yeah, I just didn't think an Australian in Canberra, Australia, talking about hockey would have anyone care about it. So, it is the most motivating thing to see that. You see even one sub come through overnight, or when you're in the middle of a grind and you're editing your 3rd video for the day, and you're like, oh, I could just it's that 3rd video that the back of the head starts to be like, oh, then the Xbox is in that other room, like. That's the thing, and you see that one sub, and it makes all the difference. But yeah, I've got obviously the other previews to go through. What do you think about the preview? Who do you think's going to win? Put your predictions down in the comments down below. Otherwise, just your general thoughts on obviously the series, and and then the other three series tomorrow I'll be reviewing as well before they start. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you, and bye.